Welcome to my Inktober drawings. We're going to do a little speed paint today, and this is actually 1 through 7 of my Inktober challenge, otherwise known as the Blueink challenge. But we're actually going to be using some of the spelled ink words because I decided I liked those better, and I enjoyed their channel. So here we go. The first day we have strawberry. I decided to draw a little figure of myself with my strawberry bag. It's my favorite bag. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. It's a strawberry that's dipped in chocolate with a little drizzle on top. And I'll be honest, this first one I wasn't super happy with, but I don't know if there's ever really one that I'm completely ever happy with. It's kind of that feeling that you can always do better, but it's a blessing and a curse, so we deal with it. The main thing that I didn't like about this model right here was I couldn't get the leg position right, so I actually ended up completely scrapping this one and trying to maybe think of doing my bag, or I ended up going into a modeling program and gave myself a pose and kind of drew some of the clothes over top and give it kind of like a reference of pose. This worked pretty well. I was a lot happier with the legs, but the top didn't quite look right, especially the face. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it worked. So it's a little bit cheaty, but you know, references are still something that we use. But I am not best at people, so I've been working on getting a lot better at drawing people, especially anime. I've found a little bit more success with drawing chibis, but I also want to try to get into the like more mainstream anime figure drawing, more like mangaka style, because I think they look really, really pretty.
They did.
Yeah. I was so happy with how the ponytail ended out. Like, it's so like bouncy, and you can see here I'm trying to mess around with what I want to do in the background, and then I'm like, I give up. I'm just gonna color her in. Oh, I love how the skirt turned out though. So pretty. And I like this color of green. I actually don't have any shirts that are that color, but I think that this outfit is really cute. Super satisfying to watch the drawing in. And then I add those sandal flip-flop straps. Hair is definitely a difficult part of the human body for me. I still struggle to color it in and do all the highlights and make it look realistic enough. I've gotten better for sure, but yeah, I also wanted to put a little scrunchie in my hair. I have a really big, like fluffy one that's tan that I got in Japan, and it's like the cutest big one, but it's so hard to style in my actual hair sometimes. And now I'm just going to go around and add the shadows, which really makes it pop. Hey, look at those hands. They're not the best hands. I probably could redo those, but it works. I do like the sleeves, like the clothing folds. I feel like I nailed the most part, but some of the actual anatomy, not super happy with, and you're gonna see that in a little bit as I'm like completely refiguring the face, because it looks like the forehead is so big and that the eyes are crooked. I'm kind of thinking or wishing that I did the mouth a different color too, but here's my attempt at trying to fix the eye placements, and it just never works, you know, so I actually end up just copying the right eye and flipping it over and using it as the left eye, which is that classic can never get the eyes right scenario. Yeah, trying to fix the forehead there. I don't think it fully worked, but it looks a little bit better, I guess. Ye old trick. And then for some reason I had a weird layer thing where I was on a different layer when I was moving eyes around, and it kind of gave some gaps. But here we go. Here's the final little product. I copied the little swirl and put it on the background. And I just kind of liked the green color, so we went with it. On to day number 2. This word for the day was rotund. And I was thinking to my head, not to my head, like I have multiple people up there. But I was like, what is the most rotund character? Because I want to get better at characters. That I could think of. Or even just like most rotund thing. And I couldn't help but think of Pochita. He's so cute. I've never actually seen Chainsaw Man. It's on my to watch list. But I keep seeing this little guy pop up everywhere. And it's just a little ball of joy. And I thought that it would be super cute to do a little drawing of him for Rotund. Because he fit the theme so well. Because he's a little ball. So yeah, this one is a little bit more cartoony. One thing that I did like from the last one that I did is I was using the pencil tool, which normally I'm using some of the basic stuff. But I liked the look that it gave. Then I gave him a little bed, and here we go, the final little drawing of Pochita. He looks so happy. And on to the third day. This day was ocean. And I wanted to go for kind of like that deep sea vibe. So working on the background, kind of smearing stuff together. And trying to get the right look for light seeping into the water. And I decided I wanted to go like a really big scale with this one. And my favorite animal is an octopus. So you know I had to do it. Not to spoil it because it's still coming. But I drew this diver guy to get a like good scale. Here comes the big octopus. He's a big boy. I'm trying to really get the scale and reference or pose. The scale and pose for this octopus. Messing around with the tentacles, having fun making sure there's 8 of them, because I've done many an octopus drawing in my time, and there's always people who count the freaking tentacles and are like, there's only 7 of them. It's like, well, the other one's behind it, okay? I get it, okay? But what do you mean? Yeah, so there are 8 tentacles because I counted, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, there are indeed 8 tentacles. But I loved this drawing. I think this one might be my favorite, but I'm also biased. Yeah. I decided to use this circle brush for some reason. I thought that it would be easier and maybe like save some time. And like I even found a way that I could like do a stroke and control the the size by pressure, but it didn't save time. I had to go back and fix everything and kind of fill in stuff to make it look actually nice. Like, I don't think I would do it this way again. I think I would just go for the individual things like I did anyway, and because I know I can make them look good. I guess it was nice for giving kind of the rims, like it kind of gave a cool glowy effect, but it was not a time saver. This one took probably the longest just purely because of the monotony of going through it and doing each like tentacle bit and all the shading that I had to do. Sorry, I hit the microphone. Yeah. It was worth it in the end to do all the individual pieces though, because man, I love how it turned out. In this eye, I wanted to try to make like a shiny and kind of going for the realism texture, cartoon texture. Like a weird mix of that, because that's kind of my style, I think. But I wanted it to come across as shiny, where the rest of the octopus is kind of very flowy and watery. I don't know if I quite achieved that, but I got some good color in it. And like after I finished it and then zoomed back out, it was like, oh, the rest of it's really flat now. So I had to go and add highlights and lowlights and stuff to kind of make it actually feel like it fit on the octopus. And then I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't do all the tentacle suckers. So I still have to finish up those two. There we go. Finish those puppies up. And then go back to the diver and give him some details. I really liked using kind of an off yellow just to give a hint of that color for like the snorkeling tanks or whatever they're called. And then I made a brush to do some bubbles, and it turned out pretty cute. And I added a little snorkel thing and the bubbles. Finish up those tentacles on the last one. Suckers. Yeah. And then we go back and add some like top lighting to give it a little bit more depth. And then I think I'll also add some shadows. And there we go. Day 3, ocean. Number 3, ocean. The octopus. All right, and on to the next one. This one is curiosity. And the idea that I had for this would be a guy looking into a box and kind of being like, what's in that box? This kind of goes back to the whole I can't draw people thing though, because I feel like I just messed up his face. Like the sketch looked so promising. And I got my box and then I went ham on the box for a minute. And the person sketch that was kind of just like looming over it. It started out so good. And I really wanted to do the clean lines, and I figured out how to use the tool to help make those clean lines. So then I was like, this guy kind of looks dead. Let's add some color to him. But I was like, I think I can make the eyeballs work. So I added just some color and then just a little bit of highlights. And I loved how that turned out. Like it made it look super intense. I was very proud of this moment. And then I was like, oh no, I have to do the rest of it. I kind of wish I stopped right there. It's okay. We try, we learn, we live and learn. I think I ended up making some of the shadows too shadowy, and I kind of ate his face a little bit. But then look at all this hair fluff out. Still a challenge for me. I feel like the head is very unbalanced. I probably could have added a little bit more on the left. Yeah. I did like the shading a little bit more on the hair that I did here. I spent a decent amount of time on it. Yeah, I mean, it's not like bad, terrible bad, but yeah, work in progress. It was funny though, like I was showing my mom what I was doing, or like just on FaceTime or something with her, and she was like, "What's that? What's inside the box?" And I said, "I don't know what's inside the box. That's kind of the whole point." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Yeah, it's curiosity." So I think it worked. Another person said that he looked kind of concerned. Yeah, trying to liven him up a little bit more. He's pale as a ghost. I wish I put the eyes on a layer too, so that I could have kept them like as vibrant and kind of eerie as they were. I accidentally went over them a little bit with some airbrush, I think. But here we go. Curiosity. What's inside that box? You'll never know. And on today, I've forgotten what day this is. 5, Insomnia. Day 5. For some reason, I decided that I could do the face better. Or I can do faces, I guess. I decided to go for a pure shadow to highlight. Or I guess a pure highlight concept. To me, Insomnia is... It's like a really difficult, eerie, like... tough roadblock. And sometimes you just kind of get trapped in it. And it was this idea that like your phone like is both kind of your escape and also the source of your insomnia sometimes. But yeah, I took a picture of myself for this reference. So this one's me technically. But yeah, it's kind of cool because I really kind of made it more creepier than I was expecting, but I kind of like that it fits the vibe of all of the fall October-y stuff. So for the most part, I was pretty happy with this piece. I think in the areas where it mattered, like I got the shadows and lighting really well. No. Sorry, y'all. I was just really freaked out for a second that I hadn't pressed record. It's okay. But it kind of mirrors that fear and not being able to sleep and always being anxiety and having too many things in your brain at the same time. It's okay. But I tried to add that little eerie glow at the end. And here we go. Insomnia as seen through the eyes of Emily. And on to the next one. This was a quick turnaround for day 6, comfy. For me, being comfy is sitting in a giant beanbag and having lots of pillows and blankets and food and gaming and just being like the best warm temperature and just chilling, not needing anything. Like, it's gonna take a lot to tear me out of this situation. But I wanted to go back to kind of that chibi-esque feel. And everything's like really soft because that was comfy to me. I decided to put a boba tea here, even though, I'll be honest, I don't actually like tapioca. I do like going and getting like a boba tea, but if I'm gonna get something, I'm gonna get like a jelly or something, or not even any sort of toppings. Because, I don't know, tapioca kind of hurts my stomach sometimes. But I was gonna put gyoza here, and then I just put it on like chicken nuggets because that's a classic with a little bowl of ketchup. And inside my apartment, I have these really cute, what are they called? Succulent pillows. I got these, I think, for Christmas last year, and they are so cute and so comfortable and fluffy. And I just wanted to add them because I get to see them every day, and they kind of make me think of comfort, and they're really cute. It's kind of difficult to get the shading and shape of them right, though. I think I did pretty good, but I definitely spent majority of time on this piece to get those pillows right, I think. Yeah, and these are the actual shades that I have them in. I think the pink one I made a little bit pinker. It's a little bit more of a peachy tone than what I drew, but still really cute, so not that big of a deal. Also, I do have that the heated blanket. You can see it has a little cord out of it. Oh my goodness, if you cuddle up on the couch with that heated blanket, immediately you just feel sleepy. It's the coziest thing ever. And I'll be honest, I haven't played on my Switch for a hot minute, but I like to. And I did for a while when I had more time. I've been working on getting through the second Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. So I think this would be a super cozy day. Cute little chibi. Oh, look at that chibi Emily. She's so cozy. And on to day number 7. Today, and hopefully when I release this video. Very maybe. But, phobia. I have a phobia of zombies. So I thought, I don't really want to draw a zombie because I have a phobia of them. It could have been cool to do kind of like a gross face or whatever, but instead I decided to go for a graveyard, and I found a cool reference of this graveyard. Kind of gave it a little field and put a bunch of tombstones. It's not a one-to-one at all, but I wanted to give it kind of like this coffin is going to be buried. And so I kind of remembered from burial services that I've been to in the past that there's always this kind of white sheet, especially if you're doing the service like on the grounds where they're going to be put in. There's like a white sheet underneath the thing that they kind of like help lower it or something, or they cover the hole or whatever. But I wanted this coffin to be like cracked open with the like zombie hand coming out. I don't know if it's super clear that it is zombie, but I still think it's a pretty creepy concept. So I'm pretty happy with the concept overall. But I had to muddy up the coffin. Excuse me. I had to muddy up the coffin because it kind of felt too clean. I mean, it is a new coffin, but I don't know, it just didn't quite fit with all of the like textured background that I got.
What?
And so I did the foreground gravestone. And weirdly enough, none of the stones on my reference had names from what I could see. So I just kind of went with textures anyway. Excuse me. But I did kind of have fun going around with all the gravestones and giving them textures. I wanted the one right by the coffin to feel a little bit newer. And all the rest of them still would be weathered and kind of have a stone texture to them. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going to go around all the way. I made 3, technically 4 if you include that front layer with the close grave and coffin. and then like the mid layer, and then the little bit farther back layer, and then like the really far guy back. And I think the coloring definitely gave that sense of scale. And then I kind of give a little blur to the trees and tried to go for a fog effect. And then like I kind of liked how the darker ones felt a little bit to kind of give that feel of like, oh no, this is a dangerous area. And then, oh my goodness, this hand took forever. And I was trying to use my own hand as reference, and I didn't like it. And I didn't like it. And then I ended up just doing like, just right on the tip. Yeah. We start this one. This is on. And I was like, yeah, it's coming out. I was pretty happy with how that turned out. Because you can kind of see the hand from inside, and it really makes you like lean into it a little bit. And then I went back around and kind of covered up all the bottom of the gravestones with the grass texture, which is really nice because I got a brush for that. And then I could not decide for me what I wanted the sky to be. I think I ended up with this kind of red, white, like Day of the Dead vibe. Or like maybe not Day of the Dead, but like zombie apocalypse movie vibe. And then I put some clouds in the sky and added some highlights on top of the graves. And I did end up going back over with a little bit of like a pinkish red to match the sky. And then I wanted a little bit of reflection on that coffin. And then add some shadows, and here we go. You got yourself a zombie grave site. Thank you for watching. Tell me which one was your favorite in the comments below, and we'll be back next week for another round.